Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a lovely day. It's a beautiful day here in Oregon. It's very sunny. It's kind of warm. Although I got my hat on and my hoodie because I know I'm small and I get cold easy. So, Neo Tarot, she dropped by my tarot reading last night when I did the live reading for Foodie and Salah. And thank you for dropping by, Neo. It's a pleasure to have you on my channel. And it's also a pleasure to watch your readings about Foodie and Salah and Nadar. So I was in my live and she was talking about Nadar. And I'm sure other people in the community have spoken about Nadar. So she just did a video where she did a reading concerning Nadar and Foodie. Now, in my readings, Nadar has been popping up. I just keep feeling like he's in the background, but he wants to be in the foreground. That Chantal and Nadar have never stopped talking. They've never stopped. They just put things on the back burner, but that meal has never gone completely cold in the pot. It's always stayed on low heat. So, in my opinion, Chantal and Nader never stop talking. She's someone that she has no friends. So, in the moments when she's alone and depressed, who do you think she's going to call? Nader. And certain things have happened with him and his channel. The last time she came back to Canada, he suddenly popped up with $500 in groceries. I wonder who bought those. Maybe the same person who bought his groceries before when she was in Canada and actively involved with him. So I feel like the energy between Nader and Chantal never completely fizzled out. That he's always been in the background, in the shadows, waiting for something to happen. And now that Salah absolutely screwed up and he talked to Kai Bella and the whole fairy tale of the supposed fake marriage is now completely blown apart, Nader might be trying to get more in the foreground. You know, he enjoyed his time being Chantal's sugar baby, having her pay for everything, pay for the rent, pay for the phone bill, pay for the electricity, buy him food. He was enjoying all of that. And when he and Chantal were going at it for Crackhead Olympics, financially speaking, that was the highest point money wise for him and also for her. It was her personal low, but it was also her high for money making. So I'm sure that both of them miss all that money that they used to make together. And there might be a sense of the word that's coming to mind right now is nostalgia. I feel like they're having moments of nostalgia of I remember how it used to be and making all that money and the views were just going crazy and the subs were going up. They both miss that. I don't think that they love each other. I think they liked the benefits of that kind of a partnership because Foodie's current partnership is not working out on any level. So going back to Neo Tarot and her wonderful reading, I just got through watching the video. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Not what I expected, I'll be honest. A lot of interesting insight there, but I wanted to give my thoughts on it as Neo is doing the reading. And again, Neo, thank you so much for dropping by my live. You're welcome on my channel anytime. It's always great to see you. It's always great to hear you. I love how you do your readings. I know I'm a little bit slower. I get sidetracked with my lives, but I just want to keep talking to everybody. But always great to see you do great content. Always. And for anybody who wants to check out Neo Tarot, look for the link for the video in the description. Please check out her channel. She's done numerous readings on Foodie, on Salah, on the whole situation with all of them. But she also does great readings on celebrities and singers of all kinds. So check out all of her videos. I think you'll enjoy them. So let's get on with the actual reading itself. And Neo, it looks like the cards were ready to talk. They couldn't wait to talk to you. They were jumping all over the place. They had so much to say. But I'm going to let you talk. Let's see. I'm just making sure that I am where I need to be. So let's get to y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Oh my goodness.
Look at
Okay.
that. The cards are like, we're ready to talk, mama. We're ready to talk. Just lay us down. Lay us down. We're ready. It seems like they've been dying to say something. Like, oh, you finally got around to Natter and Chantal. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's get into this reading, shall we? I mean, the cards are like now and do it now.
I think the reason why the cards were so eager to talk is because the focus of Foodie and Salah. But I think Natter is the puzzle piece to this picture that's not been discussed very much. And he's very much in the picture. He's in the shadows, but he's still in the picture. He's trying to move up to the front because he's in the back, but he's still there. And the cards are saying, let's talk about it.
Okay, got you. Cool. So, this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. Okay, so I've done maybe a handful of readings, 5, maybe on Chantel, Foodie Beauty, and I get a lot of feedback. Like, thank y'all so much because honestly, I don't watch her and I don't know. Like, I know energetically what I'm saying, I feel, and so I say it, but y'all just be confirming for me to be like, okay, cool. So, yesterday, I was able to catch a live and for Rose Thorn. What's up, Rose? What's up? So
What's up? What is up? Indeed, ma'am. Hey, we're both up. We're happening. We're here. Let's do this.
one name that kept coming out, and I know I've heard this name before, just like in the comment section, etc. And Nader, is it Nader or Natter? Natter? I think
Natter.
it's Natter.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was like, yesterday I heard y'all talk about it so often, like the name was so repetitively mentioned that I was like, okay, so I've not done a reading on her and Natter. So
Mhm.
let's do that. Okay. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And again, let me know what you guys want me to, or who you guys want me to read on moving on. Okay. All right. So Spirit is acknowledging in this relationship. I don't know why I'm going to say relationship, but they want me to say relationship. Interesting. So Spirit is acknowledging in this relationship, when it comes to these two energies combined, that there is this energy of there's more than one way to skin a cat. Cats, you know how we say here, they have 9 lives. So this energy of wanting to try it over and over and over again, almost about landing on your feet with this energy, with this person. Okay. Landing on your feet, falling high, but landing on your feet with this person. Breakthrough, solution, originality, receptivity, and faith. And then we get another cat here. Okay. And Spirit is acknowledging that there was some kind of energy of someone pouncing on the other. Heart chakra is in the background, full of emotion. Now, anytime I get this card, I always say, don't do it. But you know what? This is the realm of choice, and people do what they want to do. Okay. And so that's not my business, not my problem. But yes, someone was felt very, very inclined to go get it, required and inspired action. Now is the time, readiness, follow through, pounce. Okay.
Sorry to stop you, Nia. Like, what I'm feeling off of this already is Natter. He's been in the background. He's living with another woman right now. He's been living with her for a while, but he's been focused on Foodie because he's a bit of a narcissist, you see. And it was Chantal Foodie who brought him to YouTube. It was Chantal who introduced him to the YouTube audience and getting attention and making money. So he has her to credit for that. And that really fed into his ego. You know, he thinks he's somebody now because of her. But a whole year, she chased him, trying to control him, trying to possess him. And he would not allow for that. He used her weaknesses and her wanting of love and her jealousy and insecurity against her to get more money and more material things out of her. But he resisted her. And then they just clashed too much. They were oil and water. You know, he needs a more submissive type of woman that will back down when he wants her to back down. They're too much alike. like I said in your comments, they're too much alike. They're alike in all of the wrong ways. Got two bossy, narcissistic, con artist, scammy personalities that are going to butt heads because neither one of them wants to back down. They both want to win the fight. They both want to be king or queen of the hill, so to speak. They want to stand on the hill and say, I'm victorious. They don't want to share the spotlight together. That's what made for all the fireworks for an entire year. You got these two very alike people that they had a weird love hate relationship with one another. I love you, but I hate you. Not loving in the romantic sense, but just we got an energy here. And financially speaking, it's working. And getting attention, it's working. And getting subs and views, that's working. Although Foodie wanted something in the romantic sense with Nadar, and that's just something he could not give her because he doesn't have real feelings for her. And that, again, that led to all the back and forth, back and forth. So, like, he's, in my opinion, he's been waiting for something to break on her end. He's been waiting for this whole relationship with Salah to go bust. Because once upon a time, he was in the sugar baby position, getting all of her money. And then Salah came along, and then he started getting the money. And Nader wants that back, in my opinion. He wants it back. He wants to be the only one having access to her and her money and being in full control of her and her money. So when the situation with Salah and Kai Bella happened, all the really shocking text messages, that was the perfect opportunity for him. He knew that she was going to be crying and upset, and she would be calling him and crying to him on the phone, and he could be right there to be uh, deceptively sympathetic. Like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Come on back. What are you doing over in Kuwait? Come on back to Canada. Just acting like he cares when he really doesn't. He's just seeing an opening to what he wants. And now there finally is one. So, like the cat, he's going to pounce on it. He's going to pounce on that weakness. He's going to pounce on that bad moment, and he's going to play it to his advantage. Although, even if she came back to Canada, things are not going to be as they once were. And she's going to come home with a whole lot of issues that she didn't have before. But let's keep going because I am very eager to see what else the cards have to say.
Because of this ball of emotion that they were feeling, Spirit is acknowledging that there needs to be a come to Jesus moment with these two: truthful communication, integrity, divine intervention, surrender, and reconciliation. So as much as they kind of gravitate to each other, it also feels like the claws are out. Like they also like fight hat. Like, what is that about? Anyway, Spirit is acknowledging that when it comes to this combined energy, as much as they have their issue, there's also this energy of wanting to just sit down amongst each other and swing on the front porch and feel very cozy and in nature. Earth sign energy on this card. This is energy of hugs and kisses.
Sorry. Chantal being with Salah, she's not being her true, authentic self. When she was with Nader, she was more true to being her authentic self. She's kind of a feral person, Neo. Very feral, very savage. She has no sense of social graces, no manners. She's vulgar. With Salah, she has to play the part of being the modest woman, and that is so not her. So in Salah and Nader's company, she could be more her true self. But as far as the claws being out, like that was the fireworks. Like I hate you, but I don't hate you, and I'm obsessed with you, and I love you, but I still hate you. Part of the conflict between Nader and Chantal was not only was Nader fighting with Chantal over things. He was fighting the things she was doing to herself, if that makes sense. Like there she is hurting herself. There she is leading a very unhealthy lifestyle and trying to fight against that. And there's no fighting against that because Chantal's very headstrong, very stubborn. No one's going to tell her what to do. So he's not only fighting with her over simple issues, he's fighting her against herself. I hope that makes sense.
Adoration, snuggling, pillow talk, being someone's favorite. A lot of solar plexus energy in here. A lot of burning fire in the belly around these two. What is that about? But yes, someone's favorite. Interesting. Someone's favorite. But for some reason, there's this energy of lazing around, loafing, and no response, no interest, disinterest, false start, leaning, heavy. Like, is this someone who could have gotten away from the other, and the other person is just like, oh, in the middle of the deck, spirit is.
Okay, I feel that Chantal never stopped being obsessed with Nader. Like he's always been the one that got away, the one that she wanted the most. Like even being with Salah, I feel like the Salah relationship that she's been putting out on the internet, that was kind of a internet rebound. Like that was a rebound relationship. She couldn't get what she wanted with Nader, so she bounced over to somebody else as a form of getting a sort of revenge, if that makes any sense. Like, if I can't have you, if you won't let me have you, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to find a man who's younger and more attractive and just rub it in your face. Like the whole thing with Salah, it wasn't just about making money on YouTube. It was about just rubbing salt in a wound that she was trying to create with Nader. So the entire time that they were going back and forth, again, it was always a power struggle, a tug of war of who was in control of who had the most power, who had the most influence. I mean, just the constant tug back and forth between the both of them, just trying to get the upper hand. And nobody ever truly had it. Like just a constant conflict of personalities, of lifestyles, of attitudes, just fighting against each other. And yet they stayed connected. Even in the worst of fights, they never crossed that line, that final red line of going the complete distance and burning the bridge completely. They always left the bridge between them open and ready to be crossed over again. As far as the bump on a log card, what am I getting? I'm getting a sense of just Chantal. She's lost a lot of her energy. A lot of that I feel has to do with her health. She's not in a healthy place right now. She should work on her health. She's lost a lot of her fire. That's the best way I can describe it. She's lost a lot of her fire. Like she's just feeling very like lethargy. She's feeling a sense of lethargy and just stillness and stagnation. Like she used to have a fire for her channel and trying to come up with things to keep people interested in her content. And it led to a lot of views and it led to a lot of interest, but she's lost that. She's drifted into that place of I just don't care anymore. I don't have I'm not she doesn't even have the energy to try to get out of the hole that she put herself in. So maybe the energy of the bump on the log card has to do with her of just she knows what she needs to do. If she has feelings for Nader, she could pursue it. She could go back to home to Canada and start things over again. But that being stuck, absolutely stuck in that place mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically, the stagnation, it's holding her prisoner. and she's got to either fight her way out or not. But as long as she's in it, it's going to be like a fog that just surrounds her, and she's just going to be walking in it and not know where to go. So I'm sure Natter wants her back, but that would require a whole lot of steps that Foodie would have to do to get back there and establish herself. And on her side, she's not about change, and she's not about hard work. She starts thinking about something that requires effort, and she thinks about all the steps, and she's like, oh, it's too much work. I'm not going to bother. And then she just stops right there. So maybe he's talking to her and trying to persuade her to come home, but she's stuck in the mental funk, and she doesn't want to get herself out.
Acknowledging, keep, this is crazy. Do not read your book backwards. Keep moving forward. Like, do not go backwards,
Nope.
because this energy, energetically, this relationship was no good. Okay. It kept one or both of them away from their purpose in life and also away from their strength. They had an obstacle in a relationship that they could have easily hopped over, but they remained there because they thought the grass was greener on the other side. Sending them love and light. Okay. Natter. Ooh, see how this happens? Why? Okay, so what we can see is someone is like, the lies you tell. I saw you lying. I could tell you was lying. And they were lying about being a jack of all trades, or they were lying about, this is coming through. So yeah, they were lying about being a jack of all trades. They were lying about having a woman over here and a woman over there. But this is very interesting. Like, this is layered.
Mm-hmm.
You see how she's looking? Like, I see you. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
The lies you tell, you've been lying to me. But this also feels like there's information that Natter is giving her so that she can see the truth as well. Okay. And this,
Okay. Again, sorry to stop you. They're both liars. They are both manipulators. They are both con artists and scam artists. And like I said, they share a lot of the same negative, toxic traits. They have the same similar toxic, negative, evil personality. And I feel those negative things are how they got along and how they understood each other. Like the message that came to me just a second ago was den of thieves. One thief will understand and relate to another thief. One liar will understand and relate to another liar. Like birds of a feather flock together. And those are two feathers that are very, very similar. So she knows what he does. She knows what he is. At the same time, he knows what she is and what she does. So that is understood. Like, you're a liar, I'm a liar. You scam people, I scam people. I'm talking to different people, so are you. So they have that understanding. But the jack of all trade card, I got a picture in my mind. Like the gentleman, he's got one woman hanging onto his arm, but looking at another. What's funny about that, Neo, is Natter is currently living with a woman named Dee Dee. Chantal, she was very interested in Natter in the beginning, and she brought him onto YouTube. Dee Dee was actually someone in Chantal's audience on her channel. And because Chantal's showing Natter on YouTube, Dee Dee came to know of Natter. They started talking, and the next thing you know, Natter is moving in with Dee Dee. But even while staying with Dee Dee, he's still been focused on Chantal. He won't stop talking about her. He won't stop mentioning her. Do I think it's because he's in love with Chantal? No. I think it goes back to money reasons and attention reasons. That on the channel side of things, he experienced the greatest financial benefit having her around. Like when she was on her channel talking about him, and then he would turn around and talk about her, they both got a tremendous amount of views and they made money together. But now that she's in Kuwait and she's with another man, things have gone down. And that's why to this day, he still continues to talk about her, trying to draw her back in. Come on back, because he knows on top of the attention it would give his channel and the money he would make, he knows how to manipulate her. He knows what to say to her. He can manipulate more money out of her. So he's got Dee Dee on one arm because he's living in her house, but he wants his cash cow back, and his cash cow happened to be Chantal.
This has to do with her person. My man, my man, my man. But I'm a little confused because I don't know this situation and it feels very layered. It feels like, is Nader your man or is the other dude your man? So
I think she wants both. Because that is Chantal. Neo. Chantal is a woman that she doesn't believe in letting a man go, even if that man is no good, even if he is no good for her. She's not that one. She will let a man go. She won't let you go until she's found a replacement. She's going to hang on to you and suck you dry of your energy, your resources, until there's nothing left in your lifeless corpse. Then she'll drop you to the ground and look for another victim. That is Chantal. But Chantal also has a history of triangulation. She likes to pit men against each other with her in the middle. She's done it in the past. She had a fiance, Pete, that they stopped being in a relationship and they lived with each other for a while before she went to Kuwait. So they were just roommates. They were just on the friend level. And she would talk trash about Nader to Pete. And then she would go and see Nader and talk trash about Pete to Nader. And they would say things back and forth to each other and make each other hate the other. And she loved it. She even said so once. She likes for men to fight over her. It makes her feel loved. It makes her feel wanted. So whenever possible, she likes to have men fight over her and argue over her. The more men, the better. So Salah's on one side, Nader is on the other. Salah's the one that's getting the financial benefit. Once upon a time, Nader got the financial benefit. So like I said, he's been hiding in the dark, waiting for that mess up moment. And it finally happened. And now that it's happened, he's playing his cards right. He's playing the sympathetic friend, ex-lover. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I am so sorry. I wish there was something I could do. And the love that he might be expressing to her is fake. It's fake. He's never had emotional, real love for her. It's all about, I don't love you. I love what you can do for me. But in order to get the benefits, I had to pretend to love you. So he does. So he's been waiting for this moment for Salah to screw up and do something. So he's probably in her here. He's pouring that special bit of emotional poison into her system, hoping that she snaps and she comes back home.
I don't know, sis. I don't know. How does Nader feel about Foodie Beauty? Thank you. He feels like she has silent cries, that she holds her heart at night, that she's facing the moon, which means she's dealing with anxiety, hidden enemies, the truth, even though she is in denial at times. Spirit is also acknowledging that he feels like she is alone, like she's single. She's drinking alone. She's enjoying magical moments alone, enjoying the single life, enjoying one's own company. Okay.
For the record, I don't think Nader cares emotionally about Chantal. Because in the time when Nader and Chantal were involved, like there were many moments that he caused with her, that he caused her to cry, he caused her to break down, he caused her to be in high emotional distress, and he didn't give a doggone. He thought it was funny. So knowing that she's in high distress right now, knowing that she's crying and alone. Like he's a manipulator. He's a scam artist. He's going to hear her cry on the phone. He's going to see her sad and be like a cat and pounce on it. Oh, you're feeling weak, or you're sad. You got your tears rolling down your face. Here, I'll dry them for you at a cost. I'll listen to you. But all the while that he's listening and he's drying those tears, he's forming a plan about how to get what he wants. Playing on this sympathy. Oh, I really care about you. He don't care about her pain. He cares how he can take that pain and monetize it somehow.
Nadar and Foodie Beauty, thank you. Healing. A lot of jealousy in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit said, yep.
Yep.
They need to have boundaries when it comes to each other, because there is this energy of them being on and off. Thank you, Spirit.
Yep.
How does Nadar see Foodie Beauty? Chantal, how does... Okay. The soulmates.
Yeah, like that card confused me for a second. When you pulled the soulmates card, I'm like, what? But then I remembered something that I said to all of you on my channel. Like when you think of the term soulmates, you think of something in a romantic sense, like a spiritual connection. And certainly those do exist. It's rare, but it happens. Like when you find your soulmate, that's a rare, special thing. And I know people right now that are my friends that they found their person, their partner early, and they've been with them for years, and they have a very strong connection with each other. But in regards to Chantal and Nadar, I think the soulmate thing is different for them. Like two souls who are very much alike, so much alike in the negative ways that they almost mirror each other. In a lot of ways, Nadar is Chantal's reflection. So everything that she doesn't like about him is her. When she looks at him, when she deals with him, when she has to deal with those negative traits, she's dealing with essentially herself. It's like everything I hate about you is me. Everything that I don't like about you, I possess that same trait. So in a way, Nadar functions as sort of a black mirror. It's a reflection moment. Like you don't like this person, but they're very much like you. So if you don't like them, maybe in a deeper sense, you don't like yourself. You're acknowledging that there are negative traits here, and these negative traits exist in you. Like she's a narcissist. She likes looking in the mirror, but at the same time, she doesn't like everything she sees. And maybe the same thing applies to Nadar, to Chantal. They are each other's mirror. And they're narcissists. They like the reflection, but they can't stand it. So there are all kinds of soulmates in the world. There's the romantic, spiritually connected soulmates. And then there are people that come together. Maybe they are each other's reflection at the moment. They got a lot of growing to do. And they are coming together because there's a purpose to it, to grow and to be spiritually uplifted. The people you meet in life sometimes are life lessons. They're not supposed to be your lifelong partner. They're supposed to teach you a lesson. Once you get the lesson, you get it, you got it. Once the lesson is learned, you can move on to better and higher things. So maybe in that sense, they are soulmates. Soulmates with a purpose, soulmates to deliver a lesson, a very important life lesson. And until they learn it, they're doomed to make the same mistake over and over again.
That's how he sees her. So he wants her back. Look how this man is holding the heart behind his back.
Yeah, about that, about the heart behind the back thing. What came what came to mind and what came into spirit right after you said that, Neo, is that is how Nader manipulates Chantal by hiding his heart behind his back, not letting her have it, not letting her touch it, not letting her anywhere near it, certainly not letting her in it. She wants to be in it. She's always wanted to be in it. She's desperate to be in it. But he's a manipulator and he's a scammer and he knows that. So he will hide his heart behind his back like, "Oh, you could see a piece of it, but not all of it. And you certainly can't touch it. You're not getting anywhere near it," which makes her more desperate to get more of a peek at it and be near it. Like doing that emotional manipulation with her, and it worked. Financially speaking, it worked for the longest. So like, the woman on the car, she's there like being the adoration towards the man, and he's hiding his heart behind his back saying, "Nope, you can't see it. You can't have it." You know, like I'll let you peek at it. Okay, bye. Like that sort of energy, just the tease, the emotional tease, holding somebody at arm's length so they don't get too close. And in Chantal's case, she's someone that the more you tell her that she can't have something, the more she wants it. The more you tell her no, the more she feels that's a challenge. So I feel like the heart is emotional manipulation. He doesn't have any romantic feelings for her.
And there's this Ankh. Every time you guys told me about this Ankh, I do see red in regards to getting grounded.
The interesting thing about the Ankh, Neo, is that Nader happens to be Egyptian, and the Ankh is an Egyptian symbol. So maybe that has something to do with it too.
I do see blue that there's communication here. I do see that he's hiding his heart in the back, but there's this Ankh. Now I remember the last time I read and I said that this was an Egyptian symbol. And I think yesterday somebody said he's from Egypt. I don't remember. I think so. Okay, so soulmate, infatuation, wife, husband, mate, friendliness, passion, energy exchange, true love, dating, spiritual connection, companionship, care, flirting, best friend, trust, bonding, opposites attract, connection, union, partnership, marriage, true love.
About the Nader Chantal relationship, Nader's a scammer, Nader's a con artist. And as I mentioned before, they are alike in a lot of ways. But I think in a weird sense, Neo, because they are both con artists, scammers, liars, manipulators, I think before Chantal, he was one level of a liar, scammer, manipulator. And then he met Chantal. And because she is at a much greater level of being a manipulator, the lengths that she will go to manipulate people and lie to people and lie to so many people all at the same time, that there was a sense of awe, like wow, I thought I was bad. I thought I was a master liar. Look at her. Like a sense of negative respect, toxic respect, if you will. Like somebody who's a thief, and then you meet someone who's a greater thief, and you're like, wow, like I look like an amateur next to you. Like they've had that kind of relationship. Like he met her and thought she was this super morbidly obese, stupid woman that he could take advantage of. And then he got contact with her and then found out, like, wow, like just she's on another level that I can't even comprehend in a negative way. So maybe the love respect comes from that place, because I'm not feeling it comes from the romantic sense.
OMG, that's how he feels about her? Okay. And how does Foodie Beauty feel about Natter? She feels like the web. Society, worldview, work ethic, teamwork, internet, purpose, discovery, web, happiness, coexisting, productivity, blossoming career, communication, connection, oneness, building, worldwide, networking, information, wholeness, worldly matters, social media. It's a vastly different energetic perspective, is it not?
Yeah, like they're total opposites that way. Foodie is about no work, no effort, being lazy. She wants to make the money, she wants to have the reward, but she doesn't want to work for it. Whereas Natter might have a different point of view. And I feel that's also her problem with Salah. Like she's all about lethargy, lazing around, just not taking action or not enough action. And Salah is all about let's go, let's go, let's go, let's do, let's do, let's do. And when you have two people who have different points of view and different ways of handling things, they're going to clash and they're going to get on each other's nerves. You're going to have one person who's not doing enough and the other person who does a lot, trying to motivate the other person to get up and do something, and the person not doing something is going to be like, don't push me. You know, and it's going to lead to a lot of fights. So someone who's not motivated, uh, getting poked and pushed with a person who is motivated. And if there's somebody and they are not motivated by anything, it's going to lead to so many fights. It's always been a problem with her. She wants people that are motivated, but then when she gets someone who's motivated, it drives her up the wall because she wants to do things at her own pace. She doesn't want people telling her what to do.
As to how one sees the other. Natter and Foodie Beauty, Chantal. Oh, slow and steady. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race? This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to these two. Interesting. The number three makes me feel like collaboration and teamwork, but also to slow down. Like there's no rush in this when it comes to these two. Um,
Okay, that slow and steady card. What am I getting off of that? I'm getting that Natter is being patient. He knows that he can't push Chantal. He can't move too fast. So he's pushing her slowly. He's taking his time with it. On both sides of the fence, they both have things that they have to consider. Like Chantal still has Salah in her life. And for his part, Nader has Dee Dee in his life. Because of Dee Dee, he's got a place to stay. So I feel like they're both being careful with what they do because of the people that they're around right now and the situations that they're in. Neither one can hurry things along. So it feels like a slow buildup, like slowly, gently tugging on that piece of string that connects Chantal to me. Like he's just slowly pulling it, little by little, little by little. Let's go slow, knowing he can't go too fast with her. Just let things proceed as they do. Let things build up. Let the sadness build up. Let the depression build up. Let the tears build up. And then when they reach a crescendo, then make a move. But don't move too quickly. There's really no rush for him to move. He's got a place to stay. He's got food to eat. Uh, Chantal might be spending a money for that. So it's like, no hurry. He's not in dire straits. So he's in no hurry. He's waiting for her. I keep getting that word. He's waiting, but he's in no hurry. He knows if he gets her back, you know, he can get more control, but he's got to be careful with it this time because the last time he pushed her, he pushed too hard, he pushed too fast, and then that pushed her away. So, in order to pull her back successfully, he's got to go slow.
Do not rush. All right. What's the tea with Natter and Foodie? Beauty, Chantal. What's the tea? Confusion.
Ooh.
This way, that way, wrong way, go back. What is this? They like to play this game. Like it keeps saying 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Like what is up? Caution. Don't do it. And envy. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Confusion, caution, and envy would spell to me, do not do this.
No.
Do not proceed. Proceed with caution.
Okay, your audio cut out there. Chantal, for her part, like she's desperation. She's always been desperate. She's one of those that she will scrape the bottom of the barrel and get what's left in there versus fill up the barrel with something fresh and new. Like she gravitates towards the familiar, even if the familiar is negative and it's hurtful, it's still familiar. Like, and there is a certain comfort level with anything that's familiar. Even if it's toxic, it's like better the devil you know than the one you don't know. So Natter is the devil that she does know and she's familiar with. So there is a certain comfort level with that, even though he's not good for her, even though they locked horns with each other, there's a familiarity. So she's in Kuwait. Things with Salah are not working. Everything's busted open. She's not happy with that. So she's a person that she tends to live in the past. With her, it's always a sense of nostalgia and going back to happier times in her head and talking about stories from her childhood, you know, like nostalgia. Reliving happier times in her past because the present for her sucks. And Natter, on his side, you know, like I said, his best time as far as making money and having money was her. So by them grabbing onto each other, there's a sense of nostalgia. Like in some respects, that was a happy time for both of them, even if it's just for the money. Like that's when they were doing the best financially. So for that, he's willing to grab onto her again and try again if that happens. And since Nader was the one that was physical with her, uh, she always needs someone around. She can't be by herself. That would be the healthiest thing for her, but she's got to have somebody there. So if Salah were to leave, or she were to leave Salah, who would replace him? The devil that she knows. Because a devil that she doesn't know would take time to get to know. And that might lead to all kind of disasters. So she's going to go for the familiar. Even though the familiar is toxic and it's not good for her, she's going to grab onto it because there's a sense of comfort there. She likes to grab onto negative things. And negative things, it's like holding on to a toxic teddy bear filled with battery acid. The tighter you grip onto it, the more it hurts you, but you still grab onto it because it's familiar. Oh, lost audio for a second.
Whatever. Foodie, Beauty, and Natter. Big money, wealthy money, lump sum, long-term business inheritance. Is this a money grab?
Yep, said so. It's about the money, Neo. It's about the money. Once upon a time, she was making the big money. And because he was, and he was well taken care of. He was a well-kept man. Yes, ma'am. Paying that phone bill, she was. paying them groceries she was, paying his rent, buying him an iPad, buying him an iPhone, taking him on trips to Montreal in nice hotels. Yes, ma'am. She was doing all of that and more. Anything he wanted that she could afford, she bought. He lived easy peasy because of her. So yeah, he's wanting to grab onto all that money. But she's not making much anymore. But maybe he figures if they get together again, there'll be fireworks and drama on the internet and things will be as they once were, although she's changed a lot. Her health is much worse than it was then, which is going to lead to a whole new set of problems that he's not anticipating. So they're trying to recapture the magic, or at least he's trying to. And it's never going to be as it once was. It won't.
The devil, when it comes to these two, feeling trapped, mental health issues, addiction, abuse, obsession, and hopelessness. Okay, Spirit said drop on the bottom of the deck again. Reverse roles, doing things in an unconventional way, bad business with the Hierophant in reverse. And in the middle of the deck, Spirit said unfair circumstances, injustice, dishonesty. The justice card is in reverse. If you
Girl, what is it with that justice card? It kept coming up last night for me. You saw it. That doggone justice card everywhere, all day, every day. Can't get away from it with these two.
I just feel like the cards just keep saying, do not do this again. Um, how does Nadar feel about Foodie Beauty? Paranoia, isolation, antisocial with the Hermit card in reverse. But with the Wheel of Fortune, he also is not acknowledging, like, yeah, she's all of these things. Paranoid, antisocial, got a lot going on. But also he's acknowledging that she's dealing with a Wheel of Fortune in life right now. Good luck, cycles, changes ahead, karma, a turning point, life-changing decisions. He's also acknowledging that there's something that he knows that he hasn't said yet. He's very delinquent on this information because he's looking for more information before he lets the cat out the bag.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. That could be some tea. Like, those of us that have watched Chantal and Natter, we know all about those two, don't we? We do. Like, we know how they play. Natter is all about those receipts. Like, he keeps everything. He'll keep text messages. He will keep voicemails. He's a sneaky snake that way. But then again, so is Chantal. That's why they get along. They understand each other, like Den of Thieves. Thieves get along with other thieves. Scam artists get along with other scam artists. They have that common bond understanding between the two of them. So the words that came to my mind just now is he's biding his time. He's waiting. He's being patient. He's hiding in the shadows, in the bushes, waiting to pounce. He's biding his time. There's no rush. Like, part of what kept things turbulent between them is because Chantal she's a very toxic person, Neo. Toxic. She's a whole ball of mess. There's money in there somewhere, but you got to dig through all that mess to get it out. And he tried to control the beast to get the money out, but there's no controlling it. It will not be collared. But trying to know how to manage that feral animal known as Chantal and make it come to heel, it doesn't work. She's a whole lot of everything bad. She's jealous, she's insecure, she's controlling, liar, manipulator. She's threatened him in the past with legal action, taking him to the cops. He knows this. She is a pile of dynamite surrounded in a moat of nitroglycerin. One wrong step, one wrong spark, and boom, she explodes. And she's wrathful and vengeful. He knows that too. So the big question for Natter is, like, how much do you want to play with that dynamite? Is the reward going to be worth all the trouble? He thinks that he'll get something out of it. But financially, if she's not doing so well, health-wise, if she's not doing so well, it ain't going to get very far.
There's something that he wants to say. There's something that he's been holding back. He's not been speaking out about because he's like, there's just a little bit more information that I need to gather before I do so. Do you like her or not? Like, this feels very toxic. This feels very like sneaky, hidden motive.
He likes her, but not in the romantic sense. He likes what she can give him. That's as far as it's ever gone. The thing with Chantal and Nader is that Nader has never hidden who he was or what he was about. In the beginning, Chantal misrepresented herself. She put on a better version of herself to attract Nader. And then after a while, she started to slowly take off that mask and show her real self, because at that point she felt like she had gotten him under her control, although she never did. But he likes what she can do for him, not her as a person. There's nothing to like about her as a person. She's not a good person at all, Neo. She's got no good traits. Hence the reason why none of her relationships have ever worked. It wasn't a matter of it wasn't about just two different people. They're good people. They just can't see eye to eye. Like, she's toxic and she wears people out. And he had a choice between being with Dee Dee and being with Chantal, and he chose Dee Dee because Dee Dee knows how to back down when he has his moods. Chantal never backs down. You got two dominant personalities just butting heads all the time, wanting to control each other, wanting to be in the spotlight at the same time. Fights over money, fights over attention. It was a mess. It was a complete mess.
Hidden motives. That's what it is. All right. Thank you. How does Chantal feel about Nader? Inner strength, self love, be calm, fearless, be brave, and overcoming self doubt. It's not even about him. It feels like for her, she's like, I need to be strong when it comes to his energy. A lack of a father figure. She doesn't see him as the man of her dreams. It feels like poor planning and abuse of power with the Emperor in reverse. And in the middle of the deck, she says lack of energy, no passion, boredom with the Ace of Wands in the area of business, but also in the area of romance. Also, the Two of Cups in reverse, emotional energy, very draining, anxious, depressed, even when it comes to his energy, separation, losing interest, and they were an unhappy couple. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.
Great reading, Neo. It was very interesting. Very interesting. It went in directions I couldn't have imagined, but I'm glad it gave further insight to those two. Yeah, like the last cards that you pulled, sometimes you can know someone and care about them, but if you have emotional, spiritual maturity and understanding and enlightenment, you can love somebody, you can care about them, but also acknowledge that they are not good for you in certain ways. And because of that, to keep them at a certain level and distance in your life. So she cares about Nader. She's attached to Nader, but at the same time, if she lets him in too close, or if he lets her in too close, that's when things explode. This is one of those situations of there's an attachment there. I feel it is a negative attachment. It's an attachment for all the wrong reasons with all the wrong intentions. There's no emotional bonding. There's no emotional understanding. It's mainly about money and selfish desires, selfish motivations. So if she comes back to Canada or she wants to try again with Nader, it's not going to work out. It is not. Nope, not going to work out. You can't recapture the magic. There wasn't much magic to begin with. There was no romantic fireworks. It was all negative, volatile fireworks. So round two, with all of her health problems and all of her issues, it's going to be far worse than it's ever been. And I feel like that's a wine that is going to turn into vinegar real quick in the glass. So great reading, Neo. Loved it. Thank you for posting it. Love your insight. And I hope that when I do a live chat, I see you again in my live chat. I know that you work and you do things, but Those of you that are on my channel, check out Neo Tarot and all of her readings. Again, I'll leave the link for her video in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed the react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.